Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Tony, your host, and today we have a fantastic topic that many of you have asked about. It's all about books, and to talk about this, I have my wonderful co-host, Jenny, with me today. Hi, Jenny. How are you doing?
Hi, Tony. I'm doing great, thank you, and I'm really excited about today's topic, how to start reading books. It's a big question for many English learners, and I think it's one of the best ways to improve your English. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, Jenny. Reading is like a superpower for language learners. It helps with so many things. So, for our listeners who are maybe A1, A2, B1, or B2 level and want to start reading books in English but feel a bit lost, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Our first big question is, why should English learners start reading books?
That's a brilliant starting point. Well, first and foremost, reading helps a lot with vocabulary. When you read, you see new words in context. You don't just learn a word, you learn how to use it. And you see it again and again, which helps you remember it. For example, when I started reading, I often saw the word curious. After seeing it a few times in different stories, I really understood its meaning.
Yes, that's so true. It's not just about learning words, is it? It also helps with grammar. You see correct sentence structures, how tenses are used naturally. It's like a quiet grammar lesson without really trying. You start to feel what sounds right. I remember reading a book once where the main character was very determined. I kept seeing this word, and now I use it quite often. It just sticks.
Right, and beyond language, reading opens up a whole new world. You learn about different cultures, different ideas, different ways of thinking. It can transport you to another country, another time, or even another planet. Plus, it's a fantastic way to relax and escape from daily stress. Sometimes after a long day, just losing myself in a good story is the best feeling.
I completely agree. It's not just for language improvement. It's for enjoyment, too. Finding a story that you love can be incredibly rewarding. It's a journey. So, Jenny, let's move on to our second big question. Where should a beginner start? How do they choose their first book?
Okay, this is a very common problem. Many people think they must start with a classic like Pride and Prejudice or Moby Dick. Please don't do that. My biggest advice is, start with something you enjoy. Think about your hobbies. Do you like sports, animals, history, science fiction? Find a book about a topic you already find interesting. This will make reading fun, not a chore.
That's excellent advice. I remember when I first started reading for pleasure in English, I tried to read something super famous, and it was so hard, I gave up. Then I found a book that was connected to a TV show I loved, and suddenly it was much easier and more fun. So personal interest is key.
Exactly. Also, think about the level. There are, quote, graded readers available. These are books specially written for English learners, with simpler vocabulary and grammar. They are excellent for starting. You can find them for A1, A2, B1, B2 levels. So, you can pick one that matches your current English level, not one that is too difficult and makes you feel frustrated.
Oh, graded readers are fantastic. And don't be afraid to read books for younger readers, like young adult fiction, or even children's books if you're just starting out. They often have simpler language and engaging stories. I know some adults who love reading Harry Potter in English, and it's a great way to start if you already know the story in your own language.
Yes, absolutely. Knowing the story already helps a lot. It reduces the stress of understanding everything new. And sometimes, children's books have really beautiful language and illustrations too. My personal experience was starting with a very simple graphic novel, a comic book story. The pictures helped me understand a lot, and the sentences were short and clear. It was a great way to build confidence.
A graphic novel! That's a brilliant idea. Visual cues are so helpful. Okay, so once they have their first book, the next challenge is often, how do I make time for reading? Our lives are so busy.
Yes, I don't have time is the number one excuse. But the key is to start small. Don't say, I need to read for an hour every day. That's too much pressure. Try for just 10 or 15 minutes a day. That's it. Maybe before bed, during your commute on the bus or train, or even during your lunch break.
10 or 15 minutes. That sounds very doable. It's like building a muscle, right? You start with light weights, then slowly increase. If you can read 10 minutes every day for a week, that's 70 minutes of reading. That's a lot more than 0 minutes.
Exactly. And consistency is more important than duration. 5 pages every day is better than 50 pages once a month. My little trick is to always have a book with me. So if I suddenly have 5 minutes waiting for a friend or in a queue at the supermarket, I can quickly read a page or two. It adds up.
Oh, that's smart, like having a book in your bag or on your phone or e-reader, so you're always ready to snack on a few pages. I try to read before bed, but sometimes I fall asleep after 2 sentences. My wife always finds the book on my face in the morning.
That's a sign you're relaxed, at least. Another tip is to make it a part of your routine. Maybe you always have your morning coffee and read for 10 minutes. Or after dinner. Make it a habit, like brushing your teeth. And don't feel bad if you miss a day. Just start again the next day.
Good point. No pressure, just progress. Okay, so now we have a book, and we're trying to make time, but what about when you encounter difficult words or confusing grammar? This is where many learners get stuck and give up.
The dictionary dilemma. My advice is, don't stop for every single word. If you stop every time you see a new word, you will lose the flow of the story, and it will become very frustrating. Try to guess the meaning from the context of the sentence or the paragraph. Often, you don't need to know every single word to understand the main idea.
That's a big one. I used to stop for every word, and it felt like I was reading a dictionary, not a story. It took forever. I learned to just keep going. If a word appears many times and seems important, then maybe look it up, but not for every single one.
Exactly. And when you do look up words, try to use a dictionary that is helpful for learners, like an English dictionary with simple definitions, or an online dictionary that gives example sentences. Some e-readers also have a built-in dictionary, which is super convenient. You just tap the word.
That's a game changer. I love my e-reader for that reason. I can highlight words and look them up later too, so I don't break my reading flow too much. What about grammar? Sometimes the sentence is just really long and confusing.
Oh, those long sentences. Sometimes the best thing to do is to just read past it. If you understand the general idea of the paragraph, you can keep going. You're not taking a test. The goal is to enjoy the story and get the gist. Over time, as you read more, those complex sentences will start to make more sense automatically.
That's a relief to hear. It's okay to not understand every single thing. It's like listening to a podcast. You might miss a word or two, but you still understand the conversation. It's the same with reading. Okay, our final main point. How do we keep motivated? What if we start a book and then lose interest?
This happens to everyone, even native speakers. My best advice is, it's okay to stop reading a book if you don't like it. Don't force yourself to finish a book that is boring or too difficult. Life is too short for bad books. Pick up another one. There are millions of books in the world. You'll find one that clicks with you.
That's a huge relief. I used to feel guilty if I didn't finish a book, but now I know it's fine. It's about enjoying the process. What else can help with motivation?
Try joining a reading challenge. Many websites or apps have reading challenges, like read 12 books in a year. You can set a goal for yourself. Or find a friend who also wants to read in English and read the same book together. You can talk about it, which makes it more fun and keeps you accountable.
Oh, a book club for English learners. That's a brilliant idea. Sharing your thoughts and understanding with others can be very motivating. And what about different formats? We talked about graphic novels earlier.
Yes! Don't limit yourself to just physical books. Try e-readers, which are great for travel and for looking up words quickly. And audiobooks are amazing. You can listen to a story while doing other things. Cooking, cleaning, exercising. It's a different kind of reading, but it helps with listening skills and pronunciation too. Many apps let you slow down the speed of the narrator, which is helpful for learners.
Audiobooks are fantastic. I started listening to them recently, and it's changed my whole perspective on reading time. It feels like I'm reading more now. So to wrap up our fantastic discussion, Jenny, what are your top 3 key takeaways for our listeners?
Okay, my 3 key takeaways are, firstly, start with what you love and what feels easy. Choose a book about a topic you find interesting or a graded reader at your level. Don't make it a struggle.
Yes, love what you read.
Secondly, read in small, regular steps. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Consistency is more important than reading for hours once a week. Make it a daily habit.
Build that habit.
And finally, don't be afraid to skip words, guess meanings, or even stop a book you don't enjoy. Reading should be fun and relaxing, not a stressful exam. Focus on understanding the main idea and enjoying the story. The rest will come with practice.
Fantastic advice, Jenny. Don't be afraid to stop a book. That's something I wish someone told me earlier. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and tips today.
My pleasure, Tony. I hope it helps many of our listeners start their reading journey.
Me too. And to all our listeners, we want to hear from you. What was the first book you read in English? Or what book are you planning to start after listening to this episode? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below or on our social media. Remember, every great journey starts with a single step, or in this case, a single page. Thank you for joining us on Learning English with Podcast Conversation. Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep reading. We'll be back next time with another engaging topic. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Happy reading.